The bus ride home was supposed to be quiet. Rain slid down the window, blurring the world outside. Michael, a single dad and war veteran, sat near the back with his little daughter asleep on his lap. Her tiny hand clutched his jacket, the same old military coat he'd worn years ago in service. He wasn't looking for trouble, he'd seen enough of it. All he wanted now was a peaceful ride home after a long day working security shifts. But fate never asks permission before testing a man's character again. As the bus slowed near the next stop, a young woman stepped in. She wore a soldier's uniform, neat, pressed, but old, and she looked exhausted. There were faint bruises on her face, the kind that weren't from combat but from exhaustion and stress. She politely asked a group of young men seated near the front if she could sit. One of them smirked. "Seats taken, soldier girl," one laughed. "Go stand at the back. Maybe salute us while you're at it." The bus went quiet. The woman's lips trembled, but she didn't respond. She just clutched her small duffel bag tighter. The humiliation was visible, and yet, she swallowed her pride, ready to turn away. That's when Michael's voice cut through the silence. "Hey," he said, standing up slowly, careful not to wake his daughter. "That uniform deserves more respect than your attitude ever will." The men turned, irritated. "Who asked you, old man?" One spat back. Michael didn't raise his voice. His calm was heavier than anger. "I didn't need to be asked." He gestured for the soldier to take his seat. "Ma'am, please, sit here." The soldier hesitated, her eyes widening slightly. She didn't expect anyone to defend her. When she finally sat down, she whispered, "Thank you, sir." Michael just nodded and stood for the rest of the ride, holding the railing, rocking slightly with the bus. His daughter stirred in her sleep, and he tightened his grip to keep her steady. The young men muttered a few more insults under their breath, but they didn't dare challenge him further. When the bus reached the next stop, the soldier looked up again. "You didn't have to do that," she said softly. "Someone had to," Michael replied. "We look out for each other, don't we? Veterans, soldiers, doesn't matter the rank." Her eyes softened. "You served." He nodded. "Yeah. 18 years. Army Ranger." She smiled faintly. "My dad always said Rangers were the heart of the battlefield." Michael chuckled. "Smart man." She didn't respond, but her gaze lingered on him for a moment, as if she recognized something in his eyes, that quiet pain only soldiers carry. When Michael got off the bus, he waved and walked his daughter home through the drizzle. He didn't think much of it. To him, it was just another day of doing what was right. But for her, it was more than that. Much more. The next morning, Michael was at his workplace, a private security company guarding an event for a local military organization. His uniform wasn't a soldier's one anymore, but he still carried himself like one. Halfway through his shift, his supervisor rushed over. "Hey Mike, we've got a VIP arriving, General Catherine Royce. Make sure everything's in order." Michael straightened his posture and nodded. "Yes, sir." The door opened, and in walked the same young woman from the bus, only now she wasn't in her worn-out fatigues. She wore her formal uniform, adorned with medals and insignia. Following her was a woman in a sharp general's uniform, her resemblance clear as daylight. Michael froze for a split second. The soldier smiled when she saw him. "General," she said, turning to her mother. "That's him." Her mother, General Royce, looked puzzled. "That's who?" "The man I told you about," the daughter replied, her voice trembling slightly. "The one who stood up for me last night." The general's expression changed. She walked up to Michael, her eyes sharp yet filled with gratitude. "So, you're the one who defended my daughter when others didn't." Michael didn't know what to say. "Just did what anyone should, ma'am." The general extended her hand. "Then the world needs more men who just do what anyone should." Word spread fast. That small act of kindness, a veteran standing up for a young soldier, became the talk of the base. A few days later, Michael received a call from the general's office. They offered him a better position, head of security for military family events, with full benefits and a scholarship for his daughter. He was stunned. When he met the general again, he asked, "Why me?" She smiled. "Because respect and courage don't fade when the uniform comes off. You reminded my daughter, and me, of that." Later that evening, as Michael watched his daughter play in the park, the sun setting behind her, he realized something profound. Sometimes, life's greatest rewards don't come from medals or recognition, they come from moments when you choose kindness over silence, and courage over convenience. He looked at the camera with a warm smile, as if talking directly to the viewer, to you. You never know who's watching when you do the right thing, he said softly. Maybe the person you help today will change your life tomorrow. So be kind, be brave, and if you believe in that, hit that like button, share this story, and subscribe for more. Because every view, every share, spreads a little more humanity in this world.